Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For chapter 6, okay, authenticating user in PHP. Okay, di video we will learn about authentication, user authentication. Macam mana user nak login masuk. Okay, so the server is know this user and kita boleh monitor lah. Okay, this user boleh masuk, boleh access certain content and this user tak boleh access certain content. You can use user authentication. Okay, in PHP you can use HTTP authentication with Apache, HTTP authentication, and then you have most familiar and famous. You just use PHP session, right? So we look into an example first, just a simple user authentication script, very basics. Okay, first of all, absolutely you need to user the field user and password. Okay, make a field user and password, and then you need to put the exact password and name, username. Okay, like this one. Okay, kita put the, if the user type Shelly, okay, and then the passwords the user type deadline, so dia boleh access. Okay, but this one is hard code. Okay, kita dah mention kat sini Shelly and deadline, dia hard code, memang masuk dalam codes, dia tak dynamic lah. That means dia tak dynamic, dia tak ada dalam database lain, and then you can access, you can modify and so on. Not this one is hard code. Okay, okay, from the previous code. Okay, it only protects only one page at a time, only this page sahaja yang dia monitor. Okay, yang dia protects. Okay, bila dia pergi another page, dia needs to sign in again. Okay, log in again. Okay, just this page. Okay, right, and then this practice is not good. Okay, so okay, to accomplish this task, okay, to protect username and password, and it can to inherits to between page. Okay, you can use HTTP authentication Apache, okay, HTTP authentication with PHP and PHP session. This one just described at the first slide, right? Okay, and then we look into one by one how you can use by HTTP authentication with Apache. Okay, this one. So I will explain just a brief. Okay, because we only use PHP session. So with Apache and then HTTP authentication, I will just explain just briefly. Right? Okay, sorry. Okay, this one. Okay, this one. In the Apache web server, we have a file called htaccess linux or ht.acl Windows. Kalau the Linux, htaccess or Windows chassis.acl. Okay, so information about the who may access, so all information who may access and so on, we will store in there. Okay, akan masuk dalam tu. Okay, so the file is stored in the subdirectory of the web server. Kita akan store dalam tu user mana yang boleh access and so on. So bila user masukkan inputs, okay, username, correct username and correct password, dia boleh access. Right, just simple as that. Okay, dalam Apache pun ada. Okay, ini contohnya. Okay, we access. Alright. Okay, I will not explain more about this. Okay, I like this one. So dalam user punya file, okay, we created tu. Okay, ada names and password, but the password in encrypted password. Okay, bila you open that file pun, dia takkan show the real punya password. Just encrypted password. Maybe kalau username tak apalah. And then for password dia akan encrypted, right? Okay, implementation of access control. So if you go into this website, the website, so you need to prompt the username and password. Okay, baru you boleh access dia punya website, dia punya page tu. Okay, like this one. Okay, kita tengok dia akan ada pop-up prompt. So akan masukkan username and password. Okay, for user. When you put the correct name and password, you just click OK. If it give your credentials, you can get pass and access the content. Okay, and then we move into our second ways, that is using HTTP authentication. That is one. Kita ada HTTP prompt syntax, so I will not discuss further like to this one. Okay, actually just use HTTP. Use HTTP to authenticate. right, so it become just like this sama juga. Okay, but this one use HTTP protocol, so you need to put your name and password and got the access. Okay, so if you got access to this one, so you it will for example, if you successful, okay, so for this one the output is there, your punya username and password. Okay, this mean you can access the website. This one just an example. Okay, benefit using HTTP authentication, very little PHP codes. Okay, the entered username and password are remembered without needing to use PHP, send cookies and so on, session so on. No need to log in box in your web page. Authentication can be valid using database. Okay, you can use database and to make the authentication by using HTTP. Okay, sebab HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol kan dia ada protokol. Okay, and then you can pass the value. Okay, if the value match with the database and what you have in the list of username, okay, so it will give the permission to access. Very simple, right? Alright, we look after this we look to our last one. Okay, this third ways you can use either using PHP session. Okay, we have learned about session, right? We have learned about cookies, and this one you can use PHP session for user authentication. Okay, the information about this, whether a user is authenticated is saved in a session variable. Okay, for example, there is one session name. Okay, two important PHP session function. Okay, PHP just as session name. Return the name of the PHP session. For example, PHP SSID. Okay, kita ada session name and then session ID. So kalau session ID, it will return the session ID. Okay, example, like this one. Okay, ini dia punya session ID. Right. Okay, this one the example how you want to implement a PHP session. Very simple login. Go over here. Okay, just look over there. So looks we have this one. You need to put a session start first. Start our session, and then we go over here input type. So this one for your user input, user and password, and then submit. Okay, after the submit, okay, so it will pass over here. Okay, we check is the post submit. Okay, right, submit. If the user, okay, if the user type PHP 5 and then the password, the user type is cool, so it will store the session. Okay, session equal to user. Okay, what is user type here? The session username equal to post user. Okay, so for session username, so the post user over here is refer to the PHP 5 lah. Okay, we store the value PHP 5 in the session punya username. It is very simple. Okay, so if you want to pass between the page, okay, just go into another page, session start, and then you can access the session punya username. Okay, very simple. Okay, to display and so on. Okay, this one implement using PHP session. Okay, using static username and password. Okay, using static username. Okay, static username and password. Okay, you make a session, but username and password is static. Okay, you put in the text file. Okay, where username and associate and encrypted password. Password. We use encrypted and encrypted for the password. This is the example like this one. Okay. All the username password will store in the user.txt. Okay, so it will check. Okay, check if the user and password is the same with the in the tag file, so it will give the access. Right. Okay, okay, like this one. Okay, one other thing, using username and password from database. Previous one we using tag file, and this one using database. We have make our database and put in the server, and we got an access to the database, so you can compare between user punya user inputs dengan user dekat database. Compare, kalau sama, password sama, so dia akan bagi dia akan bagi pass. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, we look example like this one. This one we connect with the database. Okay, our database, select database, use the database, and then we select our user, get our user first. Okay, and then dia punya passwords, and then try to ada password tak? Select user from user, just select a user, all select all, should be select all from user. And then dia akan compare, dia akan dalam bentuk array, right? Okay, dalam array tu dia akan compare. The row tu ada tak, and then password sekali dia akan compare. Jika ada sama, true, so it will give the pass for the website. Okay, authenticate to access the website. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, what we have learned, and then the codes maybe is more clear. If you can look into W3's code, it's more clear about the session and the cookies and so on. Okay, and then later in the next section we look into that. Okay, we try to practice how to develop a session and so on, and then the cookies. So for review, okay, a question over here, what you need to authenticate user. Okay, what you need. Okay, kita ada website, what you need to differentiate the user who can access and so on. Okay, because user have different profile, right? Every user have different profile, every user have role. They are user role as a buyer, they are role as a seller, sometimes the role as a administrator. So you need have authenticates that user. Okay, give a permission for that user. Okay, what they can access, what they can see, and so on. What is the best method to authenticate? It depend on you, which one you prefer. But for me, I prefer to use just a session. Okay, just a very simple. Okay, and then much more secure? Which one? Okay, which one more secure? I think all of them are secure, right? Maybe the one that you store in the database is more secure if you have a database. Okay, rather than you store in the tag file and so on. Okay, because in database dia pun ada protection. Okay, nak access database kita pun ada password and so on, right? Okay, username and password for that database. Okay, I think it's more secure. It's for me. Okay, my personal view lah. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, okay, alright, that's all. Thank you.